Next up is Jimmie Johnson. He is our 5-time defending NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, and he drives the number 48 Lowe's Power of Pride Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And Jimmie, getting ready to start the chase here in a few days. Last race before the chase. Talk about your thoughts right now, as I'm sure you're gearing up towards yet another title run.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously a bit relaxed right now with the fact that we were able to lock in a few weeks back. It's taken some pressure off, and we had a lot of fun last week, this week on Tuesday at Atlanta. And my thoughts have really been on the 10-year anniversary of 9/11, the great paint scheme that we have on our race car this weekend with the Power of Pride, and then also the fact that I'll be wearing the Jimmie Johnson Foundation Helmet of Hope helmet. I don't think I said that right, but the Helmet of Hope I'll be wearing today, this weekend, and we all know how important that is to really a lot of us in here with all the charities that have been able to find their way onto that helmet over the years. So that's where my thoughts have been. Looking forward to a good race. We ran terrible here in the spring. Somehow got a good finish. We're hoping to have another great finish, but a much stronger effort from qualifying on through the race.
Thank you, Jimmie. We'll start here with Monty, then we'll come over here to Paul. Get this gentleman right here. Go ahead, Monty.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Jimmie, a lot has been written about how as the season went along, obviously it didn't happen last week, but so many times a person dominates all day and then something else happens at the end, whether it's a strategy move or whatever. When you're in the car and you're dominating all day and you're wearing the field out, are your feelings different now? Is it a little bit more uneasy? I mean, does it ever feel like, here I am piling up all these laps and no telling what's going to happen at the end? I mean, is it fundamentally changed? Do you feel a little bit more uneasy in the car given what's happened this year?
It's one of those things when you're dominating and leading the laps where you know you have a great opportunity and you stay focused on not messing it up. And then when something goes wrong, which is quite often, you think, oh, yeah, I'm that guy that led the most laps and didn't win the race. You know, that statistic is obviously pretty high. And I think one of the reasons for that, especially now and moving forward, is that the car balance is so different leading the race versus in traffic. And if some cars get ahead of you on strategy, when you're the leader and you have not had to drive through traffic all day long, one, you have to spend a little time to figure it out. Two, your car isn't set up for it. And you see guys kind of stuck wherever they are, on the track. So those are kind of my thoughts on why the leader can't find his way back forward typically. And then when it happens, that little thought pops up in your mind.
Right here, Paul.
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Jimmie, Brad Keselowski was in earlier, said he didn't think anyone would dispute that the number 48 team is the mentally toughest team out there. So could you try to explain to me what makes your team so mentally tough? And also, he said, you have to lose sometime, don't you? And here you are, 5-time champion. You're leading the points now. You're supposed to be dropping back. How come you guys keep staying at the top?
Well, I've learned a lot about myself and my race team, and I think my team and teammates, team members, have learned a lot about themselves over these last 5 years. We've been just taken back, amazed, impressed at our own abilities, and we've continued to learn each year about what we're made of and what we're capable of. So we're certainly hopeful for a sixth. We're obviously in a good spot right now, and we've been collecting a lot of points over the course of the year. And, we'll all find out next week, who's off to a quick start, and then the storyline will continue to develop each week from there. But I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of Hendrick Motorsports. There isn't another group of guys, another team, another sponsor that I would want to go to war with. We've proven to ourselves time and time again what we're capable of, and looking forward to this year's challenge. And yeah, absolutely. At some point, I'm a realist. I know at some point we're not going to be the champion, and I've thought about that a lot over the last 4 years, to be honest with you. But I think that there's something within that continues to make me hungry to succeed, and also something within all of it that has helped me enjoy what's been going on. I mean, we've already beat the odds. We've done the things that nobody has done before, and that inside of that, I've had a lot of fun, and I think people saw that last year in the chase, and I hope to continue that and carry that through this year's chase, regardless of where we finish.
Go ahead, Jay.
Jay Pennell with SB Nation. Kevin Harvick last week basically said that momentum doesn't matter going into the chase. How much stock do you put into momentum coming off the regular season, heading into the chase?
Momentum doesn't hurt going into the chase, but we've been without momentum. We've had momentum. Another way to look at it, we've had momentum working against us and momentum working for us, and we've been able to win either way. And I've said all along, those final 10 races, it's its own world. When everything re-racks and the point spread is so small between first and 12th, it changes things, and it's a whole new season. It's like a clean sheet of paper, and off you go.
Raise your hand here, gentleman, right here.
Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Jimmy, you touched on this right at the beginning of your remarks. Coming into the postseason, there's always the classic question of whether it's good to be rested and have clinched or coming in with momentum. From a NASCAR perspective, you've had it both ways. Which way do you feel is the stronger way to come into the chase?
I feel rested. I feel the fact that you can clinch early and come in. I don't think you have a chance to rest physically. We're still going through the motions. Every team member or driver, you still do the same reps, if you will. But the mental side of it, it's just draining. If you're worried about things night after night, worried about mechanical failures or flat tires, crashes on the track, things that could take you out of being in the chase, that stuff adds up and it takes a toll. And then the championship pressure itself it's big. So I prefer to come in rested. That was one of the goals the 48 team had coming into the season, was to clinch early and not come to Richmond all stressed out.
Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Motor Show Observer. Jimmy, I was wondering your thoughts on your teammate who just was in here. What have you seen out of him in the last several months? And you guys were in a battle for the win last week. Do you expect that? Do you expect he will be in the battle for the championship?
Yeah, I really do. I think Jeff is a very serious threat for the championship, and I've been very impressed with the relationship that he and Alan have put together and the communication between those two. We each year see Jeff and his excitement to continue and excitement to race and win and compete for championships. And he still has that same excitement. And this year, I think the difference has been the connection with he and Alan. And they've done a great job. And I feel that he's going to be a very serious threat for the championship.
Go ahead, David.
David Caravella, NASCAR.com. Edwards said a few weeks ago he was scaling back his nationwide efforts to focus more on the Cup car. Harvick said today he's scaling back KHI to focus more on the Cup car. As somebody who's only focused on the Cup car, do you think your success has played a part in maybe those decisions at all?
It might. I mean, guys are aware and pay attention to what's going on around them. There are times I sit in my bus watching a nationwide race, and I know what took place in practice before, and I see Kevin or Carl or Kyle really fast in a Cup car and dominating a nationwide race or a truck race, and I sit there and think, man, maybe I should be doing what they're doing. So as I overheard some of Jeff Gordon's comments earlier, it's just what works for you. At times you can blame it on certain aspects of maybe not being focused, but at the same time you can turn around and say, I learned something from running in that series. The one difference that Kevin and also Kyle have is owning. That's a whole another lump of whatever to deal with. Driving is one thing, but owning, man, that's tough.
Let's go right here to Claire.
Claire Beelang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I read a piece with Aaron Rodgers about how after winning the Super Bowl, he was almost glad there was the NFL walkout because he was emotionally and just physically exhausted. It just took him that much to get it together to run another effort. And I'm wondering if you felt that mainly the first year or if you, year after year, after so many championships, ready to field another run at it. I was just thinking about you and that.
Yeah, I mean, they have a relatively long off season, so I think it speaks volumes about our sport and the people within our sport, the workload we have and what we deal with year after year. And I think it, gives us some props from the 48 teams aspect to come back and be a factor each year. We have 6 weeks where we're dark, And truthfully, when you're the champion, that turns into about 2 weeks. There's always something going on, which is a great problem to have, and I've really enjoyed it the last 5 years. But there's a lot of work that goes with it, and it is draining for sure.
Joe, go ahead.
Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Jimmy, when did you kind of grasp that the chase was really good for you and that you guys maybe had it figured out more than anybody else?
I wasn't a big fan of the chase when it came along, and here it's been the way I've won championships for the last 5 years. So I still think we'd have 2 or 3 championships otherwise if it was the old system. And then you can always argue the point. You race differently, which we do. I mean, you do make some decisions throughout the year to advance your cars and to handle things differently because of the chase format. But at the end of the day, it's an interesting. I get lost in my head on thoughts and telling a bunch of different stories, but the chase is very compelling for our fan base, and I think it's a great change that our sport has gone through to convert over. But you just have to buckle down and figure out what you need to do over those 10 races and take it from there. I don't know how to answer your question. I keep getting lost in my own head. Why was I not a fan of it? Because I felt like the history of our sport and the fact that we crowned so many champions prior to a certain way, I just felt like it needed to continue that way. It's not the way it is, and times change and things change. So,
Holly, get the mic to Holly real quick, and we got to get Chuck, and then we got to rock and roll. Go ahead.
Hey, Jimmy. Holly Kane, FoxSports.com. I wanted to ask you said you'd learned kind of a lot about yourself over these years of having the championship. Are you more intense maybe than people would think you are? You're such a friendly, laid-back kind of guy. How do you approach this? Are you able at this point to be relaxed and, you know how this works type of thing? Or are you more intense and about it maybe than people think?
Yeah, I think I was more intense in the early years because any driver has a lot of thoughts, and you're trying to analyze all these situations. And before you win a race, you wonder how you're going to handle those situations, and you're trying to mentally prepare for a variety of situations. Then once you win a race, you're like, oh, okay, well, this is how I do it. This is how I deal with pressure. This is how I hold someone off. This is how I find a way by someone, or adjustments you need to make late in the race. You start building some confidence in your own decision-making process. You get into the championship format, it's the same thing. So over time, I have built a lot of confidence in truthfully, the way I think and the things that I focus on. And I feel like I have a better roadmap now on where to focus. And I don't waste a lot of extra time worrying about other areas. And through all that, I'm not the smartest guy and I don't have a ton of brain power. It's allowed me to kind of sit back and relax and have fun.
Final question, Chuck.
Chuck Howard, NASCAR Media Group. Jimmy, over here. Can you please talk about the chase opening up next week in Chicago? And also, it's another track where you've got the chance to check off another W for you in your career.
Really excited for it. I think the Chicago area and the racetrack is going to be a great host for the start of the chase. And I've been close to victory there a few times. We've always run well and led laps there. And really, want to win there for the fact that it's in the chase, and then also for Chad. We've been able to win a lot at my home track. And I owe him a couple there. I need to get him one before long.
Jimmy, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend.